Good?
Right.
Okay, so I got lucky enough to go to JavaOne this year, so I was really stoked about it. I haven't been back since Oracle bought Sun Microsystems and kind of took over Java. So I was really, going there, I had a certain expectation, and then when I was there, it was kind of interesting. But I'll just give you the overview of my experiences, what happened at the conference, and some of the things I got. So, yeah, located in downtown San Francisco, and as I indicated earlier, the JavaOne for kids was running on Saturday. I actually showed up on Saturday afternoon, but I made it to the Java Community Barbecue, and I think that should have been the inkling of what this JavaOne was about, parties. So, very interesting. So, yeah, and then, of course, the sessions and keynotes were on Sunday. We were in the Viscosity Center for that. And then Monday through the Thursday, we moved out to the Hilton and Park 55, which is another version of the Hilton. And in fact, the Thursday keynote of the JCP, which is the closing keynote, was in the Marriott, further down the street. So a lot of walking if you wanted to set up your sessions correctly. Let's see, what's the overlap with Oracle Open World? So this is what Moscone was doing. They were having the Oracle Open World conference, and the JavaOne conference was shunted off to a couple of hotels. In front of what I heard from some of the other Java champions and JCP committers is that, I think it was, at least they got it down to 2 hotels instead of 3. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, though. Anyways, there we go. San Francisco from my hotel room. That tall building in the background, that's the Hilton, Union Square. So, in fact, there's I'm not sure if I put one of the slides in here to see about the view from the top. Very slow. There's me. My hotel is at the top of Nob Hill. Hilton is at the bottom. There is an interesting walk. Each morning down was pretty easy. Each night it's a little bit steeper going uphill. Okay, so we started out with the Java Community Breakfast. This is where we sign a non-disclosure statement. People are going to tell us the secrets. What is Oracle doing? And here I am, all the exciting people. Move on. No secrets to be told. We signed an NDA. But if you watch the keynote, you'll see everything we got to see in a few hours. Keynote. Anyway, so I took it upon myself to let's take a look at the sessions and put up the grid here and say, all right, cool. We've got these tracks that are running through. You see it on Sunday, Monday, to Thursday. Added up the sessions and wow, 730. But wait, there's only 439 in the catalog. What did they do? Well, it turns out they really only had 437 unique sessions that were going on. And the 2, of course, were the opening keynote and then the ending keynote. And they did have some repeats going on. But basically, the technical tracks, if you signed up and tried to go through a technical track, it was overlapping with a lot of other sessions, and in fact, some of the technical tracks, you couldn't attend all the sessions because they were at the same time. I thought that was kind of an interesting scheduling problem. The other thing, and I have the link at the end of the show, is the scheduler itself is web-based, and it was pretty cumbersome. Is there anyone who went to JavaOne, I guess? You did. So, ringing true a little bit about the scheduler? Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, aside from that, got to the keynote here. This was on the Sunday afternoon. So, I was actually with my friends from Brazil working, eating lunch, and showed up just a few minutes late, so we got slid off to the side a little bit. But I show this slide here because it's pertinent to another section of the show. Mainly just remember Project Jigsaw. There we go. Yes, party. What did I say? 20th anniversary Java. So about every session, every day, there's something going on with the party word. And it's really kind of funny on the video is that they talk about and beer. And you hear a couple of chuckles, and he says it again until he gets some claps going. So kind of interesting. Let's get into some sessions. Docker. So right now I'm the manager of DevOps. So Docker, Kubernetes, infrastructure kind of aspects, deployment kind of things are what I was checking out JavaOne for. I was very surprised to see so many things going on with Docker. Arun Gupta, very good guy, really great presenter, very dynamic, is on the road a lot. So you get a chance to see him talk, please do. Let's see, next one here. Yeah, these guys. So the DevOps, good fun. So my friend Bruno and Edson from Brazil. Good presentation. And they were recorded. Not everything was videotaped at JavaOne, but they got lucky and got videotaped. So let's see, refactoring your Java EE applications for services and containers. It's just up the ResMed alley, so that was interesting. And then this is part of this how-to book, so I've got that in there. These slides we'll post up on our website, so all the links and everything will be there for you. Moving on, there we go. A presenter, happy. Let's see. Oh yeah, culture is king. Anybody play that little game? I don't know, lots of games actually. Candy Crush? Yeah. This company made it, and this guy was talking about how they do Agile at this small company, and showed all kinds of interesting slides about the company, how they do interviews, how they shake it up a bit and make living fun. Their workspace is painted up like their game, which is very interesting. So, me and Duke. I haven't had a picture with Duke in like, I don't know, 10 years. So throw that one in. Oh yeah, the party. Here's another cake. And of course, where would we be without our Java Community Project band? So these are various Java champions from around the world giving us entertainment. And then the late night show. So this is actually after the party. So they had sessions, birds of a feather going on, and this lucky guy had the 9 to 10 o'clock session. So, and it was kind of interesting here again, talking about major Puppet and Docker. Here again, those DevOps things. Okay, so another aspect on Docker. Oh yeah, this is kind of interesting. JavaOne. So these guys have actually got James Gosling on their board, and they are a pause on the infrastructure as a service aspect, so kind of interesting. Because I've been taking a look at Red Hat's OpenShift, and there's another one. We had a presentation here a few months ago on, what was it called? Do you remember? Open?
Yeah.
No, it was another one of the orchestration. It's a very high level. But anyways, I bring this one up because actually they took me to dinner, which is fun. But this guy here I became friends with. Wolf, he's an artist and put together, so let's see if it works here. And it's going to come out down here. Okay. How's that? So he put together this back it up. If you use your imagination, you see 2 people in the picture. And one of them is actually me. But this guy using Elastic, and he's an artist and a photographer, so he had developers that work with him and put this together. But basically, 3-dimensional zooming in and out and manipulation of images, all on this web service. And so during the conference, you could go up to the lounge there and submit your pictures, and so, I don't know, they got, 5,000 or something pictures to go through here. And then at the end, at the keynote, he had the presentation. And this is just a snippet of that presentation going through time. Let's see if we can. Okay, Netflix and DevOps again. This is pretty good because Netflix doesn't have a DevOps. They have called NoOps. So that was an interesting session. And then, yes, there were robots. I don't know if you remember, I used to run the robot competition like 7 years in a row here. Robots are pretty cool. They're getting taller. James Gosling's surfboard. Now, he's working for a company, Liquid Robotics, and they put automation on surfboards. They go out into the ocean, check temperature, how salty the water is, what's going on around. His company's got hundreds of these things in the water, talking about all the issues that they got when he's using Java and Elastic. Let's see, a little book on Raspberry Pi. How many people go to Raspberry Pi? 1, 2, okay, cool, yeah. They actually gave us a Raspberry Pi. I was happy. Figure out what to do with it now. They gave you the Pi. No power, no cores, just the Pi. What else we got going on here? Here we go, back into some stuff. Yeah, JavaFX. That was pretty cool stuff. This is a guy putting together, building a graphical language using JavaFX as the back-end portion of it. Another demo here. So this one is one of my more interesting ones. I'm interested in space sciences and Star Trek science fiction, but also cool things in orbit. So this guy put together using NetBeans platform. Let's see what will come up. Now it's down here again. Okay, so this is kind of showing off the capabilities of JavaFX. So what they did is they got a supercomputer in the background, does a whole lot of number crunching, creates a whole lot of data points. And now here's a file. Using the NetBeans platform and JavaFX on top of it, he's sucked in all this data, and then he's able to click on various points, and then the program, and this is all real time, so the data points are the only thing calculated, pre-production, so to speak. And then it'll go through and show you orbits and energy levels of those orbits. So it's a really kind of a cool app and showing you a little bit of here's a pretty cool capability of JavaFX. We did have a guy present on JavaFX some of the basic constructs of it. So this is what I thought was pretty cool and showing you some of the more interesting aspects. Built a little control panel there, just showing you how he's filtering the data through all that. And then the next sequence here is going to show some three-dimensional aspects. I thought it was pretty cool that he was able to do this, but using the NetBeans platform as his platform. Use NetBeans to develop your code. I didn't think you would use it as your application. Is this one? So here again, just showing you pick a data point and see communicate it through the framework. And here's the 3D view of various Earth Moon system, the branch points, which are basically your gravity is kind of balanced out between Earth and the Moon. Things tend to stay in those points. And then the orbits and the energy points. So, all very nice, and he did that in real time during his presentation. sessions from one to the other. All right, so there we go. Ignite sessions. They did this last year apparently, and then they had it carried over again this year. It's basically 20 slides, 5 minutes, any topic you want, and just do it. And so you can see there's quite a few people who signed up for it. So it did take, I think it took a couple of hours to get through it all. But it was very interesting and very unique because the slideshow is on a timer. You talk, you see, and your slide is either slow or it's fast, depending on how fast or slow. Kind of interesting, and the topics were just all around. This was interesting too. I walked in on a session, and lo and behold, they talked a slide about mob programming. And I don't know if has anybody heard of mob programming. So a few people. So our friend here in San Diego has developed that process, and I just wanted him. Yeah, Woody's famous. Okay, so Woody didn't present. This guy.
Somebody else.
Yeah, use this slide as a reference. Yeah, that was an interesting talk. Had a lot of good references in there. I basically got all his book references. Then I found this slideshow online and downloaded it. We'll get to that. Oh, okay. So yeah, Java. What's happening? It's been 20 years, and let's see. Here are the stats of it. So I thought pretty cool. 13 billion. But the other ones is like the 200 million medical devices. Here we are, a medical device company. We don't have Java on our device, but we use it in the back end. The automotive stuff is kind of cool. SE progress. This is kind of interesting. It only goes up to 2016. What does that mean? Well, it means we didn't have the slide ready. But here's what they were looking for: JDK 9. Everybody's kind of heard of. But 7 is kind of out the door now, and 8 is mainstream, and 9's coming down the way. So this was the release plan for 9, but don't hold your breath. Just last week, they delayed it 6 months. It's like, okay, why? Project Jigsaw, trying to figure out modularity and stuff. Basically, we're all familiar with the packages. Import this package, import a class out of that package. With modularity, it takes it one more layer above that. And they're just having a hard time making it work. So this has come up, and it's good. Hopefully they can figure it out. The EE progress. This actually surprised me a little bit, is how far behind the Enterprise Edition in numbers are to the JDK. So yeah, we're at EE7, EE8, we're going to be ready until mid-2017. But there are a few companies that have adopted EE7, which is good. I think we're still on EE6. Okay, ME, very big surprise, because I wasn't even aware that ME was still an option. That's why the billion devices on the automotive stuff. Okay, that's probably there are other companies. In fact, I was listening on the JCP meeting this morning, and the companies that are on that board talking about how they're working in the mobile space, some aspect of the ME. But cool things. They're continuing to develop a framework. You think Java's 20 years old. It's not bright and shiny anymore, which was a little bit of what I experienced at the JavaOne conference. It wasn't bright and shiny like I remember. But here's a little cool video. Let me get it play. And of course it's start down here. I'll be quick.
One of the things they always say when you rescue a dog is you're not only saving and rescuing the dog that you bring home, but you're also rescuing.
I do the top 10 list here on the top 10 Java developer nightmares version 2015. I couldn't come up with 10, so I think I got 12. I couldn't cut them all down, but I'll do this very quickly for all of you top 10 nostalgia types who want to hear another top 10. Now, I don't have a marketing department anymore. It's helping me with these, so you'll just have to laugh and enjoy them. This is the best I can do at my over 60 age right now. All right, the number 12 nightmare, Java Developer Nightmare, version 2015. 12, screen glare. You Java developers are no longer sitting in the basement. You're up there by the windows now, so because you're really important. Number 11, entry-level Java developers are now in the top income bracket. Deal with it. We're all in the top income bracket now. Number 10, product marketing specs, customer deadlines, and style guides. I hate all that. It's so hard to develop to those things. Number 9, your peer programming partner starts at 7 a.m. with bad breath. Yes.
Bring intrusion.
Number 8, you got a great seat on the company commuter bus, but the Wi-Fi is broken. Number 7, Larry raised the price of coffee too. I hope this doesn't get cut from the show here. Number 6, James Gosling is working on liquid robotics on C drums. He's not at Oracle working on Java. That's a nightmare. Number 5, no ping pong balls and no beer. It's so hard to develop these days.
We have ping pong.
Number 4, you love open source software and sharing it, but you work at Oracle. Did I say that? Number 3, Bay Area traffic, California, Texas, San Francisco housing, no rain, and marijuana is illegal. Come to Wayne in Denver. We don't have those problems. Number 2, you love your company chef, but he is on a 2-week maternity leave. Didn't happen in my day. The chef at all. The number 1 absolute nightmare is the former CEO and current CTO is making ship-to-shore phone calls to you on a regular basis. So those are the nightmares for developers today in the job.
So, does anybody remember Scott? Scott McNeely?
CEO of Sun Microsystems.
Yes. He is the one that brought James Gosling on so many years ago just to work on something. James wanted to work on a clicker. And they say he was going to go leave when he didn't like what someone was doing. And so they said, no, you can't leave. Go work on your clicker. We'll give you anything you want. So he did, and that's when Java was born, basically. So, very, very interesting story. And then, of course, you guys got all the references to Oracle. That was tongue-in-cheek. That was at the Keynote, which is kind of interesting. Kind of sets the mood for some stuff. When you walked out of the Moscone Center, Larry's big, whatever that boat is with 2 kills race, it was there on the street in between. It's huge. It's amazing. So I finally get that last one about the ship-to-shore call. It's apparently they're all on the song. Oh, useful links coming up. So Reddit, some guy posted 113 links to the sessions that are video and put them at the right time mark. So basically at JavaOne, they put the camera on go and they kind of just sort of let it go. So one big recording for everything. This guy was nice enough to separate all that stuff. The other link is the Oracle site for the keynotes. They kind of broke up a couple there that you can watch the entire keynote. And then the last site is just the site that goes to the your scheduler, so you can take a look at all 437 sessions at your leisure. Very interesting. I did kind of sort some of the stuff in a Google Doc, so let me know if you want that. It might be easier to see stuff. Unfortunately, the links didn't copy over. Let's see, additional information stuff. All right, so Porco Academy, kind of an interesting place. They got stuff. They're teaching kids, or at least having classes for the kids. And I think that's part of what the JavaOne for kids also was about. I haven't checked it all out, but it has some basic stuff on there. The next site is the Java magazine. I'm not sure I posted that up on our Java's board, but our users group board. It is kind of interesting. It's electronic, and so you can go back and take a look at some of the previous articles and just keep tabs on what's coming up. And then the OpenJDK. So this is a good site to go to because I think this is where, like the JCP, finding out what's going on with the JDK, what is upcoming. You can download it and build it, but there are companies out there who have already done that for you besides Oracle, besides IBM, besides some other big company. I think it's Azul. They're the performance engine people. They've got their version of the OpenJDK that's free, and then you pay for their really big version that's can take the humongous amount of heap space and not worry about garbage collection. Let's see, next. There we go. A couple rock stars, Elton John and James Gosling. So, what a nice.
Who's the guy to the left there?
Pardon?
Who's the guy to the left there?
I just photoshopped him. Nah. We actually, it was on Thursday morning, we had a nice meeting. July Steve could set it up to sit down with James and just have a powwow. What's interesting is I've met him many years ago, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember you. So, okay, cool. But just talking about stuff and a little bit about Java, where it's going. He's quite happy or intrigued with his problems at his company with the circuit boards. That was kind of interesting. Next. So JavaOne's done. Instead of going home, I went down to San Jose and to 100-year Starship Conference. So kind of ancillary to JavaOne, but lo and behold, I saw a presentation. Technical debt in space. Who would have figured that out? But yeah, think about it. Starships, you're going to be in space, you got computers. No one's going to be up there developing your software except the people you bring with you. And you may have deadlines like, oh, the airlock is opening. It's got a bug, shut it quickly. And so you may go into a little bit of technical debt there. But this guy was very fun, very energetic. I'd like to get him down here for a speaker. And so I got his contact information. He has actually got his blog online. You can see some of his videos that he's done on other things. Kind of an interesting guy. And I think that's where I wrap it up. I'll say thank you very much.